Hi, everybody. I am author illustrator Brian Yanish. Welcome to the ScrapKins Builders Club. This is actually our 8th show, which is very exciting. I'm just going to put on an apron here. This makes me feel a little bit like Mr. Rogers, which is kind of cool because I'm also a huge fan of cardigans. So, I feel like we kind of need some theme music. If anybody wants to write me some theme music for the ScrapKins Builders Club, I will definitely give it a listen. All right, just going to check in on the phone here to make sure I can see if there are any comments as they come in. If you are building along live with me today and I need to repeat a step or I'm going too quickly, go ahead and shoot me a comment, and that way I can know whether I need to slow down, etc. So, turn the volume down here. Now, today's project is one of the easier projects. We did a really difficult and challenging project last week, so I thought we'd just relax a little bit and do something a little easier. This is called the Nasher Puppet. Bring that in close. It actually is a flattened piece of paper that we fold, and it actually creates this pretty cool three-dimensional puppet. So we're going to create a version of this today. Because it's easy, it's fun, you can make a bunch of them. So what we are going to need for today's project is a cereal box. Now, we don't need the whole cereal box, so if you want to share this with your brother or sister, you guys can each have a portion of this, but you're going to need either a cardboard box or some kind of box that's made out of this thin cardboard that we're going to cut. You're also going to want to grab a few sheets of colored scrap paper. Could be any color, could be white. You can color it yourself. And as far as tools go, we're obviously going to need our pair of scissors. We're going to need a little bit of glue. We are going to need a stapler. And we're going to need I've got some crayons here, and I have a black marker to help decorate. So whatever kind of materials you have to decorate, you can go ahead and grab those now. Again, cereal box or thin cardboard is your most important thing. So go grab those. I'll give you guys a few minutes to gather your materials. While we are doing that, I'll grab the book and show you what page we are going to be working from. Junk Re-Thunk is my DIY, do-it-yourself recycled arts book. There are 24 projects in here. So we are actually going to be doing a project that's kind of near the front. It's on page 18. It's called the cereal box Gnasher. And just to give you a little bit of information, Gnasher, to gnash means to just grind your teeth as you're biting something. So I thought that this puppet kind of looked like it was chomping things or gnashing things, so that's why I called this the cereal box Gnasher, because it's made out of a cereal box. So what is kind of cool is I actually really like puppets. So in this book you'll actually find plans for 3 different puppets that you can make out of recycled materials that you probably already have at home. I had shown you guys already the box puppet in one of my earlier videos, so you can either check the other videos or go on YouTube to see how to make the box puppet. That's one puppet. We also have what's called a tube puppet. So it's this cardboard tube. We've got this little rubber band, and it makes his mouth open and close. This is another puppet that you'll find in the book. Really fun to make. But today, as I said, is going to be the Gnasher. So what is fun about this project is, since a lot of these ideas stem from me liking to build stuff when I was a kid, the Nasher actually came from a design that I created when I was in 7th or 8th grade. So that's about, 12, 13 years old. This is exactly what the original Nasher puppet looked like. I was able to find this. I think I did a pretty good job for all those years ago. And it's the same exact design. Check that out. So we are doing the modern version of the Gnasher. We've changed a few things. We've added this strap in the back where you put your fingers to make it easier to hold as a puppet. But it's based on a design I created when I was a kid, so pretty fun that I am recycling some of those ideas from my childhood. Okay, cool. So hopefully by now you've gotten your cereal box or your thin cardboard. So what we're gonna do first is take our scissors and cut open this cereal box. So open up the flaps so you can put your scissors in there and just cut down the side of your cereal box until this opens up flat like so. You're gonna want a piece of this cardboard, so I'm gonna cut my box in half. Like I said, if you're working with your brother or sister, give them the other half. But it's just me today, so I'm just gonna use this. So the size of this puppet, if we unfold it, and you'll see this is the back of the puppet. I made this out of a tissue box. So if I put this on my cereal box, it's almost as wide as the cereal box. So what I can just do is cut a rectangle all the way across and then trim off the edges. Because what we want is a rectangular piece of cardboard, about that size. Doesn't really matter how big you make it because it'll just mean your puppet is going to be bigger or smaller. So once you have your rectangle of cardboard, this is where things get tricky. Not really, this is a very simple one to make. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold it in half with the brown side on the inside. So you want the colored side on the outside. So just fold it in half, kind of like a little book, like so. So we've got our piece of cardboard, which is just a rectangle folded in half. And now what we're going to do next is we are going to fold back a corner like so in this triangular shape. You see what I did? I just took one of the corners and I folded it back like this and I creased it, which just means I pinched it, pressed it down with my fingers like so. Then I'm going to flip this around and do the same thing. So I'm going to fold down this side so it matches the triangle on the other side like that. Pinch it like so. So you can see we've got these two flaps that we've folded down on either side. So if we turn it up like this, you can see that we've got that mouth shape already. And if we take a look at this, you may notice that there's a little extra piece at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off with my scissors. I'm going to cut right along this line. So I've got this extra strip. We're actually going to use this strip, which is kind of cool. So when we cut off the strip, we'll have basically, if you look at it like this, it's a square. But when we open it up, you can see it's got that puppet mouth, which is kind of cool. So take your little extra piece that you cut off and set that aside. If for some reason you were able to fold it in a way where you don't have this extra piece, what I would like you to do is just take your cardboard and cut another strip of cardboard, which we're going to use as the handle, which is about the same length as the actual puppet when it's unfolded. So these are the pieces we're going to be using. Now we're going to spend some time decorating this, because you can see that this is the mouth. So this is going to be the outside or the head of our creature. I will show you the one that I created for the book. So the best way to do this is that if we open this up all the way, we can just lay this down flat while we're decorating it. And what I did was I drew some teeth, and then on the inside I colored the mouth dark and I made this crazy looking tongue. Now, here's a tip. When you are creating the teeth for your Nasher puppet, do not draw the teeth on the inside. Make sure you're drawing it on the top outside edge. So when you close it, you'll see the teeth, like so. But maybe you want to draw a second set of teeth on the inside, because maybe it's a really crazy kind of monster. So you can take your piece that you've folded and lay it down flat. Grab some markers and crayons so you can start decorating this creature any way you would like. And I always grab a little bit of extra scrap paper. Maybe I want to add some horns coming off the top of the creature's head. Maybe I want to make an eyeball that's a different color. Maybe I want to do polka dots. Maybe I want to make a tongue that sticks out. That's why I have a bunch of paper just sitting on the side here that I can use. And also something that I find helpful is I will use a marker to actually draw some of the dark outlines, and then I will color them in. So when I make my teeth, which are just like a series of triangles that kind of look like treetops, I'm just going to take my marker and draw them. Make sure I'm doing this the right way on the outside edge. So I drew a little gum line there, and then I can just draw my teeth like so. And again, they're on this top edge, which is the outside, not the inside. So I'm going to do teeth on the bottom too, so I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. Draw a little line, which is going to be where the gums are, and then do my teeth coming up from the bottom. Little triangles. So you can see, now I know exactly where to color those in, which is kind of cool. And I like this crazy looking tongue on the inside, which kind of looks like a snake tongue because it's forked at the end. It's got those two little prongs. I'm going to do a tongue that's kind of crazy, so I'm going to grab my black marker and just draw a very wiggly tongue on the inside there. Once I've done that, now I know exactly what I'm going to color. And on this one, I actually drew the eyeball with a marker. I think I'm going to cut the eyeball out of a piece of colored paper just to make it stand out more. So now I'm going to grab some crayons and just figure out, okay, well, what color am I going to make my Nasher puppet? I kind of want the mouth to be darker on the inside, so I'm going with a purple today. Again, what I love about when you're creating your own kind of creature or animal is it's up to you how you want to create it. You know, there's no right or wrong colors. Just make it up. See what you're feeling. If you're feeling purple today, add some purple. All right, so I got one side of the mouth colored purple. I'm going to work on the other side. Now, what's cool about the simplicity of this little puppet project is you can make a whole bunch of these things. And then maybe you want to make a mini puppet show to entertain your parents who are working so hard. Write a puppet show for your friends. Do it on Zoom. Put it on YouTube. Call your grandparents on FaceTime and show them the puppet you made. Lots of different ideas that you could do. Okay, tongue. What are we going to go with the tongue today? I'm not even going to go red. I'm going to go orange tongue. So, grab my crayon. Okay, I'm liking the way that's looking. Now I'm going to work on these teeth. Let's see how this white crayon looks and whether it stands out or not. That's okay. But I'm going to switch to yellow. So my creature is going to have a couple of teeth that are white. The rest are going to be yellow. I'm just kind of winging it, which means I'm making it up as I go, enjoying the art of just making things. Okay, cool. And obviously when we refold that, we're going to get that kind of shape. So I'm going to go on to add an eyeball, and as I said, I'm going to cut mine out of some colored paper. Maybe we'll use this green shape today. I'm going to draw a oval, which is kind of like a flattened circle, and I'm just going to cut that out with my scissors, and then I will glue it on my puppet. The other thing that you can do while you are building your puppet is maybe you want to think of a name for this creature. Maybe it has some kind of superpower. Maybe it breathes fire. Maybe it likes to cook. I don't know. It's up to you. So I've taken my marker and I've drawn a little circle inside the eyeball. That's the pupil, which helps to bring your character to life. And I'm just going to get a dot of glue so we can glue that eyeball right on the front. And then I'll color around the eyeball on the face to make it really pop out. When I build stuff out of recycled materials, I like to make them very colorful. So sometimes I will even paint them if I really want it to pop out. So we're going to glue on our eyeball. Okay, liking the way that's looking. The other thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm actually going to cut this point off. I want it to be rounded. So just like that. I can do the same thing on the bottom if I want, or you can leave it as a point, up to you. And now I'm just going to color the rest of that face. Maybe we'll do some kind of, let's see what we got here. How about blue? Yeah, I like that. Okay. Color that. And I think for one more feature for my puppet, before we add the strap on the back, is I am going to add some horns to my puppet, because I think that would be kind of cool. Okay, that is coming together. And what's neat about this is that you can really spend as much time as you want to on this. You can make it really detailed. You can make a really quick version of the puppet and then go back and make another one, but you can see that that's starting to come together. So I'm going to add a horn kind of coming off the top, and I'm going to use some yellow paper for that. And I'm going to kind of do like a curved horn, maybe that you would find on the nose of a rhinoceros. Kind of looks like a shark fin. I'm going to cut that out. And I can either glue or I can tape this on the back. I'm just looking, that might be easier just to tape this in place. So get my horn here, decide where I want it to go. I think maybe something like that kind of placement is pretty cool to me. So if I flip that around, I'm just going to get a piece of tape and tape the edge of that to the back of the cardboard here. So this is what my little Nasher puppet is looking like. So far, so good. So spend as much time as you want to creating and decorating this. And now I'm going to show you how to add this strap on the back so you can actually really hold this quite easily and operate it as a puppet. So we're going to take this strip, and I'm going to take my puppet again and just open it up so it's flat, and then turn it around so the colored side is facing up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to staple one end to the back near the top. If you look at this, there's a triangle here and there's a triangle here. We're going to want to staple this in the top corner, kind of in that upper triangle, just so it is really secure. And then what we're going to do is we've got another end to this, so we're going to kind of bunch up the handle so it sticks out a little bit, and then staple the other end in the bottom. Now I'm going to turn this around so you can actually see it, because it's a little bit hard when you've got color on color. So again, I'm going to take my handle, position one end in that top corner, staple that in place like so, and then I've got another end down here which we're going to do the same thing. But before we staple it down, we want to make sure it's sticking away a little bit from the edge. So you can see there's a little bit of space. It's sticking up. So I'm going to staple that end in. The reason I use a stapler is because it holds it really well. If you don't have a stapler, you can use tape, but I find that the staple really holds it in place. So you can see that the back of the puppet has that little handle that's sticking out. And what we do is we are going to slide, I usually use my index finger on the top behind that handle, and then on the bottom put your thumb through the other handle. And if it's really big, you could even put your entire hand in there. And that way it'll give you a handle to operate your puppet, which is kind of cool. If you want to make the handle shorter, you can also do that if it's too big the way it is. But that's basically how you add that handle in the back so you can operate this as a puppet. Let's get both of them out here so you can see. Here's the one that I made for the book, and then here's our creation today, which is pretty cool. So I think it would be neat if you made a whole bunch of these. And then it kind of looks like Pac-Man, which was a video game from many years ago where this little pie-shaped creature ate a bunch of dots. So this is the Nasher Puppet, which again was on page 18 from Junk Re-Thunk. And again, I'll just show you the page real quick so you can see that we did follow this step by step. There it is, the cereal box Gnasher. And this one's pretty easy to make. So if you have created one of your own Nasher puppets, go ahead and send me a picture of it. I would love to see. And I know that there are a couple of us watching today. I want to say hi to Jen, nice to see you, and a couple other folks. Looks like George is watching us. He said the video got a little choppy, so what I'm going to do is I'm also recording this, and I will upload it a better version if this one is too choppy, because sometimes the live image doesn't work so well.